Well, this angle is absolute shite, but work in progress. So anyway, I just had a quick thought, and I just wanted to put at least a couple things out before I got to work, and can't put out videos forever. Anyway, so I keep hearing about people talking about war with China and Russia. China, Russia, North Korea. Derpa. Iran sometimes in there too. So, it's what I keep hearing, but like, realistically, like we owe China a bunch of money, so them attacking us wouldn't really make sense. It's like when you're holding someone hostage for money, and then you kill the hostage, you're not going to get any money. Like if you're like, all right, so we've killed the hostage, now where's the money? It's, So yeah, as far as China, sending troops or doing, actual, real actual combat against the mainland United States, that is a no way, Jose. Russia? What about Russia? We have no problem with Russia. This whole like collusion with Russia. Russia is in our Russia this, Russia that. But what? We've had no problem with Russia since the 90s. In fact, I thought we liked Russia. I thought we all agreed that they were all pretty badass and like, a tough, fun, crazy people that have F all to do in the tundra and are, for the most part, I'd say good people. For the most part, I'd say most people are good people. I mean, certain cultures definitely have certain ways they gotta act which aren't good, which can lead to, but I think when push comes to shove, most people want to mind their own business and, do no harm. I'd like to think. But I'm seeing all these military commercials because I've been spending a little time with people that like watch television. I have my back to it most of the time if I have to be in the room with it. I found it if I'm near a television, I feel compelled to have my back to it. I don't like TV. I mean, I'll watch a movie or whatever, but I don't, I can't really get into it most of the time. But you can't. You can't. It's not like you can find like a real documentary on Netflix or something. So I gotta look for a comedy you haven't seen 150 times. But anyway, I digress. Just makes me wonder, like, war's gonna happen. It's gotta for the one system. Stuff's got to go down. There's got to be wars and rumors of wars. Plenty of rumors. Will it just stay rumors now that I'm saying it? I was thinking recently too about my I can't talk today, about my first few videos that I ever made about the horses of the apocalypse. Who's a horse? Who's a horse? I still definitely believe that the black horse is the mass of humanity. Excuse me again. It just keeps happening. You hear a lot of, there's a lot of, I'd say some of the most truth is told through music. through music videos, through song lyrics, through reoccurring themes, through the stuff. The music's powerful. It goes back to harmonics and all that. Music is a potent tool, always has been, because you don't have to think to absorb music. Whereas theater requires thought. Though they've been trying to dumb down theater as much as they possibly can. I mean, it's all like superhero movies and like gay stuff. Like literally, that's not me just being like in my late 30s and from the Northeast and saying something's gay. Like everything's about trannies or being gay or superheroes. You know, mutants. You know, aliens. You know. It's what every freaking movie's about, and they're not interesting. You know, nowadays they're just going off nostalgia factor. They could just flat out remake a worse version of a Star Wars movie and like still make, you know, millions of dollars on it. Everyone will still go see it. No one will have fond memories of it, but everyone will still go see it, pay money for it, and probably own it just so they can complete their collection. I bet you guys probably know someone who's into Star Wars, and they have the episodes 4, 5, and 6, along with 1, 2, and 3, in like some sort of box set. Even though they'll say that they don't really like the, you know. They'll try to justify that they like certain parts of 1, 2, and 3 or something. Either way, they bought it to own the collection. That's a thing too, man. See that in video games. This whole collecting. You gotta you know, like you know, the obvious easy example is something like a Pokemon. You know, but if you've checked out a lot of mobile games, it's all about, you know, you gotta collect stuff. You got to spend all your time collecting, and now most games are the same deal. Instead of collecting like specific characters, it's just stuff. It's not even anything. It's something disposable. You know, you're collecting a gun a little bit better than the one you have, and then like getting rid of the other one. You're getting gear a little bit better than the gear you had before. Then you're ditching it, and that's what you're doing. You're either going out and you're getting gear, or you're going out and you're getting supplies and building stuff to, you know, those like survival games. Just games and movies and everything are just very basic and boring nowadays. And I think it's to like just numb everyone down, numb and dumb them. Oh my gosh. Why would you even? See these people pulling over in spots where they can pull over. They can pull over way more than they are, and just being out on the road and like hitting on their hazards and being lazy. How about you take a second, you park correctly, and you don't get in the middle of the effing street, because you're blocking off something anyway. As I say this to literally nobody. I don't know, man. If you take a step back, you know, music too. Most music. I mean, there's still. Every now and again, you know, there's still, you know, people who aren't, you know, who probably aren't in on it, you know, making good music, making good movies, making good whatever, you know, they still exist. I mean, I played fun video games, but I haven't played, you know, good ones. You know, I haven't, you know, played something that really affected me, like something like a Chrono Trigger did. Like when I was like 12 years old, you know, or like Final Fantasy 6, 3 American, you know, like they're not, you know, all the games are telling the same stories, all the movies are telling the same stories, everything's the same, it's all the same crap, all the music's about the same crap. So they've basically already made everything the same. And they made it all very bland and boring. It's uninteresting things. You know, it's uninteresting because uninteresting things would make you think. You know, if there's an actual plot, you'd have to think about it. They don't want that. It's gosh, I forget what book it is. I think it's 1984, but there's this part. I never read it. A girlfriend of mine did, and you know, she would tell me about certain, you know, different parts of it and stuff. But she was saying about how they, you know, there's different programs that they would do for social engineering, and one of which was getting people into nature. But they found that when you know, the controllers, the powers that be, made society interested in nature, people were just going out into parks and, you know, natural areas, and, you know, beholding it, and it was counterproductive. You know, it was taking away from what they were supposed to be doing, which was, you know, their mindless labor, you know, being cattle. So they changed it to make, you know, the society not like nature, to change the problem. So, you know, I think as things evolve, as music, which, you know, like say like the 60s, you know, like the 50s and 60s, you know, music really took off as a creative medium. Movies in the 80s, and I mean, like, you know, people will say, you know, the golden age of you know, cinema, you know, was the late 40s and 50s, 60s. I don't know. Movies have always had a lot of appeal, but the mass appeal, you know, people, you know, everyone going out to the movies and stuff didn't really become a cultural phenomenon until the 70s and 80s, where it became more, you know, things became more lowbrow and of the masses at that point. You know, there were creative periods, and these periods did create things that the powers that be would consider counterproductive. You know, heck, there was a nun that did experimental folk rock. I forget her name. I really want to hear her music. If you've seen enough of my videos, you might have heard me mention her before. I think the concept of that is wonderful. You know, I don't think anything, well, other than obvious, straight witchcraft, but I don't think any artistic medium is inherently evil. I don't think music, you know, I don't think telling a story, I don't think painting, I don't, you know, dancing, singing, I don't think these actions in themselves are bad. I think they can just be very easily used for bad. I think that's why there's been warnings about such things as, you know, fiction and you know, getting lost in, you know, things that aren't real. Because, you know, look at you know, the whole space thing, all the space nonsense. A lot of that is from science fiction. They've sort of intertwined everything as they do, to confuse. When you mix things and you combine things and you don't keep them separate, it confuses people. We need organization and boundaries. We're supposed to have them. We're designed to. We require them. You know, structure, you know, obviously, you know, structure is something that can be abused also, obviously, but you know what I mean by structure. Correct structure. Things can be perverted. You have to remember that too. You know, things that were once good or are seemingly good are not. You know, Satan is very good at reversing things. He's the great perverter. He takes things and he flips them on their head. He enjoys it. He gets off on blasphemy. It's one of his things. And you know obviously the hardest way to go is opposite. You know, what's the opposite of love? You know, meaningless sex. You know, apathy. Not giving a crap. And look what's preached. Look at how many movies and television shows talk about how you know certain characters are dead inside, and that's A-okay. That's fine. That's cool even. It's the way to be. You got to be dead inside. Why would you want to be dead inside? Yeah, there's pain. Life is painful. Stuff hurts. It doesn't mean you shut off to absolutely everything. What's the point? It's an empty existence. Literally. Excuse me. Having a lot of dairy. Which reminds me, I grabbed some French crullers when I grabbed the coffee, and I got some chocolate milk kicking around back there. I'm gonna have some French crullers and chocolate milk. And I'll burp even more. I don't know. This one went a little rambly, but I had some points. That's about it. I can't really think of anything else right now. I went all over the place so hard I lost my place. But anyway, I love you guys so much. Have a beautiful day and God bless you.